The following is a presentation of the Control Trends Podcasting Network.
Hey, what is up, HVAC Control Pro? This is Eric Stromquist here with Stromquist Company and ControlTrends.com. I am super excited. On the Control Trends Podcast Network, we've been promoting a new podcast called Next Generation Innovation. It's a couple of young guys that give you the industry from the perspective of a younger individual. So fresh perspectives. Aaron Gorka's been doing it by himself, solo for a while. He has a new guy, Brent Burrows. Brent's a young tech from Atlanta, Georgia, brings a lot of spice to the show. So I invite you to watch the debut of Next Generation Innovation with Aaron Gorka and Brent Burrows.
AUG-A-N-T-R-N-G-I. So here with fellow young gun Aaron Gorka, kind of getting to the point, the business tracks, the what else they got? They got the
technology track.
Yeah, the technology tracks down there,
yeah.
And so the show's kind of wrapping up. It's been interesting, been like drinking from a fire hydrant. What have you thought, Aaron?
I've been drinking from a fire hydrant. It's been good, man. It's been a nice couple days, actually. Catching up with some old friends, seeing some clients. Ant's got a bunch of clients here. You met lots of them last night, right?
Dude, I've met some of Aaron's clients. They are awesome. Awesome SIs. Really enjoyed meeting them. What was the one? I met Decal, and then I met Synergy, or as one of the guys said, as I like to call it, saving you energy. I'm not sure that's the official slogan of the company, but otherwise, really cool guys.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed getting to meet them. But Aaron, you got some great clients. We're a client of yours.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about the services that Aaron and Ant Technologies provide?
Well, I got you. Well, overall, it's a software that operates our businesses, right? But we're a contractor just like most of the people here, and we've been around 20 years, 25 years actually, 26 maybe this year. I was 3 when he started it, and so we're in the same struggles as everybody else, and that's what the software is all about. It's like, hey man, we got a solution. It costs a little bit of money. It's not much money, not all things considered, and you just got to kind of rock with it, right?
I gotcha. Underhand.
Oh yeah.
No, that was some good stuff on your product. So we use Aaron software primarily to track our projects. We work in the controls industry, and our projects are not in and out. This isn't swapping out, a compressor, swapping out a condensing unit. These projects take months, even years to complete, and really the product they have, especially the project tracker, has helped us keep our things up to date and make sure that everybody that can be on the project or needs to know about the project is informed. We all have the same information, so that's been good.
Right?
Yeah. So we really enjoy it. You're one of the many sponsors at this event. Some really great sponsors, really great products. What's the favorite thing you've seen so far?
Favorite thing I see? Well, honestly, I've been working my booth the most part, but I actually saw. It's a cable company hooking up electrical. It's like a magnet basically. So if you were doing a retrofit with a stick, you could pop that across and just hang your wire with it apparently. So you see it in the simplest way, that'll save a lot of time in electrical installs, right?
So check it out. That's actually what you're talking about is Connect Air.
That's it.
And they've got the magnetic. They stick really well to like iron and steel trusses, stuff like that. I use them, and they've got awesome names for it. It's actually the Mag Daddy. So the Mag Daddy is the Mac Daddy of running your wires and creating your networks, getting a good clean install. So definitely check out Connect Air for that. They're awesome. It's also cool for a little known thing about it is you can use it in your van, your shelves. Like you need to hang your gauges on it, hang ropes on it, and anything like that. I've got them stuck to the cabinets in the back of my van. I actually use them for that. So that was cool.
It's a CG&A controls.
Yeah.
That's a CG&A controls moment there. You guys got to get them in there and pushing that as distributors right through to the contractors. Do they save time? Like those magnets?
Oh, 100%, as opposed to having to put beam clamps on everything, and you just stick it up there. And I know what you're thinking, magnetic. How well can that hold up? Like extremely well. I've actually,
you shake it.
I shot a little video kind of of my van talking about it, and I've really got to yank and pull on it. So it's a really good product. I like that. It makes our lives easier. I remember when I first saw it, I was like, this isn't gonna work, but it does. We really enjoy it. So you got that. So We talked about the Mag Daddy. I saw Belimo had some new actuators. They actually had a new valve with a little bit of a lower profile.
So it'll fit in tighter spots.
Oh yeah, it'll fit in tighter spots. It's got universal power supply. Like you can put 120 to it, you can put 24 volts to it, programmable through an app on your phone, even with the power off of it. Just some really great products out here. So that's why I enjoy coming to these shows. I'll admit I'm a little bit of a rookie. I've been to 3 and starting to get it more. Eric's put me on this video, put me on blast, and man, you want to talk about getting nervous the first time that video comes on, and you're with like a seasoned professional. Like I was with Bill Bain, and he was just man, he was smooth as silk on there, and I'm sitting there. I got my stomach's turning over, and I'm just like, oh my god. But it's been interesting.
The stomach's turning. It's not from the beer last night, right?
No. I felt good until the camera went on.
Oh yeah, it's true. It's different. It's different doing it on camera than on air. I don't know. You just got to forget about it. And trade shows are kind of fun though. You get the chance to see people and yeah, you always drink. I always drink too much. I don't know. It's kind of part of it, right? End up with a sore, raspy throat, and by the end of it, right? But you know, what are you gonna do? The keynote speakers, right? All 3 of them. Most of the manufacturers, the big suppliers that are sponsoring the event. It was kind of cool that they all did have pretty much the same kind of flow. They all represented it, very differently from their own perspective, and it did tell you a lot about the companies. Actually, I think we got to see the personality of 3 separate leaders in an organization, and the ones who are making the decisions, that we buy on, right? What contractor, what are you going to use? Why? Are you going to invest the time and energy into creating a new market, getting it in the specs, taking it away from your made market that you've been doing for so long that you're comfortable with, and you got to make those choices based on what you see and other companies out there that aren't up on the stage, right? Yeah. So I like that. What did you think about that?
That's a great point there. I think the best thing about that is you kind of looked at, so the manufacturers and really us as an industry, to see we're all running the same race.
Yeah.
We're all looking to get to the same endpoint.
Yeah.
And the path there may be a little bit different, but it's not like this guy's going left, this guy's going right, and this guy's going backwards.
They all got something different that they tag on, but
yeah, and I like what you said about investing in the new technologies, even though it may hurt your core business a little bit. Let's take a look at the company formerly known as Kodak. Kodak was sitting on the technology for digital cameras, but they were afraid that it was going to cut into their business. Yeah. Needless to say, if you're watching this and it's 2019, Kodak no longer around.
Because we can snapshot this stuff.
It did not go well.
One day we're going to look at this and we're going to be old, man.
Seriously, if there is a way to do a time machine, go back and watch this podcast, Kodak in the 90s, and please let the digital cameras out. Who knows? Maybe that would have spurred something like the butterfly effect, and we'd be living in some alternate universe. I'm not sure. All because of Kodak. But,
it's true.
But yeah, that's cool. So actually mentioned that this is only my 3rd trade show. I know you're a vet. Eric, oh my gosh, Eric Stromquist.
How many do you think he's been in? Come on in here.
I don't know.
Now we got to tag you in.
I don't know. I'd be like, hey, you guys remember that? You guys remember that conference that Eric Stromquist wasn't at? Yeah, me neither.
No. How long have you been going to these things?
Dude, I cannot tell because I'm so old, but I'll just say I'm older than the old men on Game of Thrones, okay?
Yeah, right. You got more energy than anybody.
I'm the Night King, baby. Yeah. All right, you guys are streaming to Instagram, so say hi to our audience.
Okay, what's going on? Do it for the gram.
Yeah. What's up, Graham?
Go back over here, guys.
I gotcha. But yeah, so I came up here with Eric, and instantly when we got here, I mean, it's everybody. Hey man, hey this guy, hey that guy. But it was cool because Eric taught me a little trick.
Yeah. What did he teach you?
Okay, so you're going to these shows and you're going to run into people. It's even happened to me just being to 3. I've run into some people and I can't remember their name.
That's one of the things we want to do. What to know about it.
Yeah. So what you do is you use the buddy system. Always have a buddy or a spouse, coworker, or something like that. And you're coming up, you're just like, oh, I recognize you, and we're coming up to each other. So what I would do is if I came up to Eric, I'd be like, oh man, so good to see you. Hey, meet my friend friend Aaron. Aaron, introduce yourself.
Yeah.
And he goes, hey, I'm Aaron. Hey, I'm Eric. That's Eric.
Boom. Yeah.
So
that's
there we go. That's a little tip on remembering people's.
What's that guy's name? Oh, I can't swear. We told him. What's that guy's name?
Yeah, exactly that.
Alive. Oh no.
So that was cool, and that's actually what we want to talk about a little bit on our next podcast is the do's and don'ts of a trade show, or if you're going, going to the trade show first. Like, don't stay up till 4 a.m. drinking and then miss all the keynotes. That's bad practice.
Yeah, don't do that.
Or if you do have a buddy system.
Yeah.
Once
you
need a buddy.
Once again, that is number 2. That is a pillar of coming to these conferences, the buddy system.
Yes.
Until you are a veteran, it's like going in the deep end of the pool. Take a floaty. Okay.
That's a good one.
So
It's true.
So those are just a few little tips and tricks, but I've really enjoyed this. Cochran Supply did a great job of really getting all this stuff in over 2 days because we're busy. We're out in the contracting business, and we're busy. So they did a great job. I know I've been some other trade shows I've been to. They kind of drag out over 3 or 4 days, and it's like, dude, I'm missing a lot of work. So what else you got? I've kind of talked for a while.
That's all right. No, Cochran always does a good show. This would be my 3rd Controls Con. I started at the Soaring Eagle. It wasn't called Controls Con then. It was just before. I forget what it was. And then it was our first. That was really where Ant became Ant. Really, we went there under our red logo, Aeron, the core business, and when we got there, we just saw what is this? And we actually had this really cool demo unit. It was had like it's basically a metering system that you can travel with. It's huge. It's got a compressor in it and like a boiler in it and everything, so you could demonstrate it. And I noticed I missed that at the booth because tradesmen used to go up to it. They go, oh, you know what I mean? They go, ooh, what is this, right? They want to touch it, right? And it got us a lot more traffic than this one kind of thing for it. But anyway, that was we saw the contractors' eyes light up about they needed the software too. So 2 controls cons later, and they're a great team at Cochran. They're so fun, so nice, and like I've been out with them. Oh, I don't know, 100 times probably. I don't know, with some of them. Yeah, just having fun over the last few years because they're close to us in Toronto, and it's 4 hours straight, like right across the bridge. You can see, right, straight there. So, and they really were the first distributor that really hammered Ant through, right? They they could turn a couple more. I'd like to sit out on the record, and they know it too, right? Come on, a little bit of pressure. Yeah, I got to do a little bit of pressure, but. Everybody went out and grabbed 1 or 2 contractors right away and got us rocking. So, and they were all here, yeah. The Kentucky people couldn't come because this is Derby week for them. Yeah, I love it down there. Kentucky's a cool spot. It's like it's got nice hills and the people are pretty nice. They're kind of like Canadians that they drink more bourbon, they smoke more cigarettes, and they like guns.
It sounds like a lethal combo.
Yeah. So, yeah, Kentucky's a cool spot, and the Cochran folk from there are cool too. So, now I really like the show as a whole. The keynote speakers were good. The one thing I want to see, and Eric, we talked about this, is high schools. At certain points, high schools should have been here. Because this is like they have a huge trade shortage, and we're up there and we're talking about just 50% IT, and that's kind of tough sometimes for contractors, right? I mean, I've been in a lot of contractors' offices, and some of them it's still wood paneling. And some of these guys are smoking in their offices still, like and it's like
madman.
Man, maybe in Kentucky, yeah. But in all sorts of different places, right? And it's like certain like you can't. It's really really impossible to compete with that compared to Google with a cool office space, right? With weird flexi hours and bullshit kind of thing, right? So
I think I think you tapped into something right there though. You went there and you mentioned cool and flexi office space and everything, and I just want to say that's what's awesome about this conference is the collaboration, the products that actually allow us to design and implement that stuff for companies like Google and Facebook. True. I know some that I've done in Atlanta. Like I did the whole build out, the commissioning, the program and everything, and I went back to the space after it was finished. I was like, man, this is really cool. Yeah. You guys got any applications? Maybe I can come to work here.
Yeah, well, it's it, right? So that's how do you do that, right? So
right.
But I also think that what we need here is the trade kit. Okay, so it's great. We're gonna have a bunch of IT, but who's gonna fix the equipment? You know what I mean? Like the backbone, the internet's gonna. When a system goes down, it goes mechanical. So that mechanical system and that job is never going away. Like, we were hanging out with all HVAC guys last night from Decal, and the Synergy guys are more on the technology side as well, and they're really good at it, as we were talking. And the Decal guys are more on the mechanical fixing stuff. They got it's like 25 or maybe 30 HVAC techs. And
the big operation.
These guys they don't even have a dispatcher barely. They all kind of just use like it's a weird market. It's not like this in Toronto, and the tech kind of owns a relationship with the like Ford or whatever, for like the different hospitals and stuff around here, because they're comfortable with it, and the relationship with that makes sense, right? Mm-hmm. But they all work for Decal, and they get the calls, right? And then they get the business, so they don't need a dispatcher. They just use the software to administrate it. And man, these guys got to be hand over fisting, because with that that level, like underhead, we'll call it, is.
What do we want to call low overhead?
Low overhead, underhead. I don't know,
Underhead. That's a verbal trademark for Aaron and technology.
Next generation innovation, Young Guns, Control Trends, Podcasting Network, right?
Talk about your guys' podcast a little. Tell those what they can expect.
All right. Well, everybody kind of knows.
Is this an episode?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And I guess for me, I don't, I've been doing it. I like to do the interviews. I like to hop in. I don't like to plan too much, right? So if you haven't noticed, right, kind of just show. I kind of just show up and rock, man. I don't know. I got good at all this throughout the years, and it's like, oh, fuck, man, I got so much. I did it again. I got so much on the brain sometimes. It's like, I'll just show up and make it work. So that's what they can expect on this side. I mean, but I think you got a different opinion, a different idea on it, right?
Yeah, so I like to come in a little bit more prepped, a little bit more ready for what I'm going to say, because I'll do exactly what Aaron talks about. I can spin off and wind up talking about anything. I think, what have we talked about so far? Talking about some verbal trademarks, time machines, Kodak, just kind of spin off. Yeah, that would be a great episode.
About fisting?
I was about to say time machine. I think that sometimes I get a picture of myself. It's actually in my office for some reason. It's like a picture of me when I was 5.
Fire hose and beer too.
No, it's a picture of me when I was 5, and I kind of pick it up and I look at it and I say, "Oh, Brent, there's so much I want to tell you, but sadly I can't." but anyway, once again, I got off track. I like to come in a little bit more organized with some setup topics, so we can kind of rein Aaron in, and then we just go back and forth. You can see we spin around. I mean, we're real guys. We're in the industry, kind of telling the stories and giving a platform for people like us, and then also to get other people that are way smarter than us, have way more experience, to help educate us and educate our audience. And that's just it's a powerful tool. I'm really excited about the platform and the chance we have. Coming up here to ControlsCon was great. I got exposed to so much. I got pushed into uncomfortable situations by Eric, but I feel like we're going to come out all the better for it, and be able to create more content, more use for everyone. So that's what I hope to bring to the podcast, and looking forward to it.
It's kind of hard to, like, when you first got me going on this, it was hard to just do it, like, and that's the key, right? I missed out on tons of opportunities. Like, I just don't really know if it's cool to have a microphone going in your pocket and just say, "Hey, man, do you want to do one right now?" I mean, I think about last night. I mean, that would have been, the girls that, like, I'm trying to get going, but I think I'm gonna miss my shot in the end. Like that, after a couple of drinks last night, that would have been great, Anyway, they all know about what I'm going wild. Yeah, exactly, right.
Hey guys,
I did learn a lot about that though, and the let's sit on that, and we'll work on the girls thing. Right? We want to make the boys blush a bit. We want to get their attention, but what we want to know is, like, just what I learned even just by watching in this event so far is that, like, they talk to each other. It's like, so are you, like, to the amnesia night, like the night before the vendor appreciation dinner, like, they're whispering to each other. So are you wearing a dress? And they're coordinating their outfits, right? Like, we would never. we would never do that as men, right? Or you see, they're talking to him, or you see a guy, like, and we're all friends, but come up and put their arm and make kind of a funny, dirty joke, but it's simple. The girls are tough in this industry, but, that's...
And I've talked to Eric about that, and we promised that we're not going to do that as much anymore.
Yeah.
We're gonna lay off on that. It was interesting. You said
if they're going to jump up and hug you, that's okay, right?
Well, and I should clarify, that was the thing, kind of going back to Eric coming here is... Man, he knows everybody. There were more women that came up to Eric. Like you'd swear he is just the suavest, smoothest guy, best looking guy in the whole place. But it was cool because I got to meet some powerful, high up women in this industry.
And Nicole Conklin, she's like one of the sharpest tools in the shed.
I met Nicole. I met Nicole last night. I was asking her.
Woman of the year, like Control Trends were working on it, right? She can't compete against the giant corpse, right? On voting, right?
So it was funny. I'm pretty sure I met Nicole in the drink line, and Eric's got me on this thing where I practice here and know a lot, and I actually so I'll ask people for free stuff, and I asked her if I could have her jacket, and she said no. But it was very cool, and she was like, "I'll tell you what, you come back and find me later. I'll see what I can do." So I was like, "Hey, you know what? Maybe a little bit of maybe worked in there." But yeah, they did have the best outfits here. They all looked really cool.
Yeah, it's part of the culture. And every time I run into Scott Cochran, everybody knows him. He does so much for the industry too. He helps us all. He's a real dot connector, and people pull her together. And he does get the technical side of it. Like he's got it. And he gets up there and he gets up on stage and I really look up to Scott from that perspective because he does it so well and he does it so his own way, and it's cool, and I love seeing him up there be successful and his team and we talk about culture in the business. We talked right after he finished up and wrapped it up yesterday. I grabbed him, gave him a big hug, right? Yeah, you can still do it sometimes with people, but you just got to be aware. Just being aware with the girls, right? Just, don't always want to be touched, right? Anyway, sees him, give him a... Yeah, exactly. All the girls are beautiful, man. It's a good thing.
No, that's one of the things I'm really looking forward to. If we can sit down and we can connect and kind of get their input, because I can tell you for our industry, I'd say two of our biggest players at Integ, and I'll call them out. Dana Haggerty and Tracy Grogan. I always mess up her last name, but Tracy's been probably known my dad about as long as Eric has, and been there since day one. But they're unbelievably essential to the operation. And if you're not using these women with these incredible talents and this drive and aspirations and all their tools, you're missing out. And Intech's going to use them. We're going to take them up, and we're going to take that competitive advantage, so people can have the boys' clubs, and we'll take the girls. That'll work for us.
Yeah. Same thing, and I think probably, and meeting all the contractors throughout it, there's always selling. It's usually the accounting lady, right? And selling her on the software is the most important part because she's going to use it to do the invoicing. So a lot of time in most of these businesses, right? And then they do so much more around that. But every contractor's got their ladies that really run their business, right? And I mean, there's all sorts of studies and stuff, and I don't really want to go into any of that because I don't know it factually. It's all hearsay, right? So I don't want to repeat, be wrong, right? So we'll get the girls on. That's it. So everybody I talked to over the weekend about it, I think we're gonna miss it, this time, and that's okay. But let's kind of at one of these next events, or even over Zoom or something, even doing it separate. It doesn't have to be a big group of it all, but I mean, ultimately, the big group of it all will make the boys blush. So
like a panel discussion.
No, not that formal. Like a round table. Like a round table, yeah, with a microphone kind of in the middle and drinks for sure, right? Because then you can have fun.
I have a question for you two guys. So for the women in the industry who wants to know what's sexually inappropriate when it comes to how they treat you, what are the boundaries?
Well, from that I've learned from it all?
No. What things can they do to you? What boundaries do you have when they are...
Like the girls to me?
Yes.
I like the hug. Hugs are good. Hugs are good when they're throwing. I don't mind that, right? And again, there's a lot of friends, and I've hung out with the Cochran girls and me have kind of grown up and matured as professionals together, right? So we're friends, right? It's just the way it goes. So, I would say just being a little bit, because flirtatious is fun too, but that's a little tough too as a married guy, right? Because it's like, well, you know, you got to be friends, and that's for me. It's when it can start teetering on. It's like, and most people don't. It's extremely rare around here. All the women here are extremely professional, and that's the key of it all. And they.
Where I was going with that is, please. Sexual harassment, please do.
I was about to say,
Go for it.
you got on this whole thing pretty much.
Shit! We did it again.
Geez, you're 3, and I'm Mr. Clean. I'm Mr. Clean over here. Clean cut, clean mouth. So yeah, exactly. They got me on the last one. But yeah, pretty much anything goes. Just use your best judgment. Use your best judgment.
That's a good answer.
Exactly.
Holy.
That's it. I gotta defer. I guess I can defer all these questions to my wife, who is back home, 8.5 months pregnant.
Yeah, true.
Alicia. She's on Graham now. She says you're in big trouble.
Oh yeah.
No.
Exactly. I love you. I'll bring some flowers home or something. I'll see what I can pick up at the airport.
She's saying,
Maybe a tiger's
I think
hat.
that's
flowers aren't going to do it.
Flowers aren't going to do it.
Fake jewelry.
I was about to say, Eric, you got some experience with upset wives. Why don't you, maybe you can give me a little.
Well, ex-wives being the opposite.
I was about to say, maybe I won't take Eric's advice then. I'm going to try to get this one going good. But yeah.
Anything else you guys want to talk about before we hop off here?
And I'm good. How about you?
Let's at the next conferences. Let's get some high school kids in here, seeing how cool this is. Because when they're making their choices about where to go, we have to be there to guide them. At college, probably too late because you missed them. You missed them then.
So Eric, frame it up a little bit about how great our industry is, because we got a lot of people. Give our community your Instagram handles too, but frame it up why it's so important. It's a great industry to be in.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, it's the best. The people are so fun. It's down to earth. Like, you know, suits are around, but it's not, you know, it's not everybody's wearing a suit. Like I wear running shoes, right? But you have fun with people. It's real humans, and we make a huge difference. I mean, every time you're sitting down in anywhere big, basically in any big building, like, you're either comfortable or you're not. And if it's like a learning institution, at very least, like, I can't learn if I'm uncomfortable. And you know, that's exactly what everybody in this whole conference plays a part towards. Softwares and hardwares and integrators and, you know, other things, right? But there's something to do for everybody, I think. Contractor, like the mechanical guys, and yeah, that's it. I wouldn't go anywhere else. Right? What's that?
Pays pretty good.
Holy moly! Again, we were talking about that with the decal guys. These guys are making a ton, way more money than any of their friends compared in the trades and the industry. It's like and you can do it fast if you can engage, and when companies see you really pushing it and engage, like, you're under wing fast, right? Like, you can grow and you can learn, and we're starting to get better at it, right? As more young people come around, I mean, it's only going to get better, and so one of the things I want to lean forward to is story time. You know, the old, like, the veterans of the industry who will always be around because they're invested in it, but sharing the stories of how the industry happened, because these young kids that are going to come up, you know, you can't have those stories lost. Right? You got to treat, you know, I mean, it has to be transferred so that not just the technology or even how to fix things, the know-how, like the history, why things happened, when things happened, you know, I mean, the timeline and the under.
Tribal knowledge leaving the building.
Bingo. That's exactly what I was thinking, like scrolling kind of thing, and so they can understand it, and that will be a very important part for us moving forward. I think is like, because we're going to be here till the end, because this is what we do. Fucking born in it, man. I'll get it again, but born with this. You know what I mean?
To the end. Yeah. It's like something you say before you go into battle.
Yeah. It's a battle. That's exactly what it is. That's the part of it, right?
Winter's coming.
Yeah, exactly.
Summer's coming in Canada, man. Finally.
Yeah.
Getting leaves coming out now.
So it's interesting. You say story time there. Tribal knowledge. Got one website for you. It's got all that. It's called automatedbuildings.com.
Oh yeah, there you go. That's true.
You can get to them through Control Trends. That was one of the keynotes. Ken Sinclair. I love reading his stuff. Got a chance to meet his wife Jane. she is just as nice as she can be. I didn't know that she did all the editing for it. So that's what she said. She's like, yeah, he gets to do all that. I get to do all the work. And I was like, that's pretty funny.
That amazing woman that's always around.
Yeah,
wife or teammate, it doesn't matter. Right?
Yeah, and that was another one that I met, and I was just like, man, she is awesome. So that was cool. I like what you said about getting people into the industry, and getting to see this side. Like, come to the show is awesome. This is completely different than I think what's projected to people in high school. They kind of look at it, and at least when I was coming out of school, it was like, if you don't go to college and get a 4-year degree, you're going to be a grunt laborer. You're kind of a loser.
Yeah,
right. Like, and now, and this day and age, it's become, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm this. Like, that's a big buzzword that everybody, that everybody likes to say to themselves. But seeing all this innovation and the capabilities of it, I think would really kind of change the mindset, change the conversation that's being had at those levels. So that's that. We've talked through a lot of stuff. And
is this episode 10 then?
I don't know.
No, I think it is. So you guys can do an outro for episode 10.
Okay.
Episode 10.
All right, guys. So this has been episode 10, and we've covered a lot of things.
Notching them up, we're getting there.
Yeah, exactly.
Digits, baby.
Next generation innovation.
I think Aaron's obviously the all-time leader, but I could come into the number 2 spot ahead of Jason Hout and Rob Allen for the most most episodes hosted. So I'm really looking to climb that leaderboard. But I kind of want to go back, and there's a really important question that I think we need to ask, and that is, Aaron. Kind of want to close this out. If you were given an elephant, yes, and you can't sell it or give it away, what are you doing with it?
I'm gonna ride it to work every morning, like Mowgli from Jungle Book. Yeah.
So congratulate Brent on his virgin episode of Next Generation. This is his first episode.
Yeah, he did great. He did awesome, and I saw him do his first interview today too. And that's where the video's good. Is when you get the reactions, right? That's it.
He doesn't look any different, does he?
Oh gosh.
How do you feel?
Yeah.
I don't know, like Jodie Foster in The Accused. It was in there. Everybody's staring at me. I'm just like, oh Jesus. But
what's going on over there?
But Bill Bain did a great job, and he carried me through it. It's kind of like one of those things when you see like a sprinter like fall down, they tear their hamstring, and Bill and Eric kind of like hoisted me up and carried me across the finish line. So I appreciate that, but I promise the interviews will get better, and we're gonna work on that. So
that's it. Next Generation Innovation on the Control Trends Podcasting Network, episode 10. We're out.
At the door, but don't freeze in your tracks. It's that chance that you've been waiting for. It's the light coming through the